Anyway, so I mean, I'm just digressing all over the place. But coming back, was Aryavarta consciousness, which means that each time there was a kind of a threat, external, internal, whatever threat, there was some calamity. The belief from the Puranas, from other Rajya Shastra, whatever it is, the belief was that one Chakravarti, one Parashurama, one Krishna, people like that would take birth in this land and make it Aryavarta again. But what these Hindu kings lost over the centuries was that these births of Parashurama and Krishna and all these things, however great they don't occur in a vacuum. So this Kautilya understood that a strong state should also be manned by extreme ruthlessness. Otherwise, you can't keep it. Otherwise, see, Kautilya built a highly centralized state, and also, delegated Chandragupta Maurya, his network of vassals and feudatories were extraordinary because he maintained it with an iron hand. We lost that. That is the loss of this Aryavarta consciousness. That we knew what united us culturally. We knew our borders, the extent of our borders, but how to maintain them, how to maintain kingdoms so that they are not threatened externally, is something we lost due to infighting. This is the loss of what I call Aryavarta consciousness. Anyway, the point is that after the downfall of Sri Harsha and Purikeshi down in the south, okay, after that, in just 300 years, and especially in the 10th century, 3 major empires rose up and started fighting among each other. Gurjara Pratihara, Rashtrakuta, and the other guys, I forget the name. So 3 major empires, I think not Palas, not Palas. 3 major empires, they fought each other needlessly, senselessly. It, in fact, to their eternal discredit, Rashtrakutas opened up horse trading, literally horse trading, trading in war horses with Arab Muslims. They allowed they were one of the first kings, Hindu kings, to allow these Arabs to build mosques in their own territory. Who does this? This is what I call loss of Aryavarta consciousness. So anyway, coming back to this downfall of Kannauj, Hindu Shahi kings were on their own. They were on their own, defenseless, no backup, nothing. Right, so this Bapparaval thing, the last time Hindus actually united was against Anandapala. He's son of Jayapala, who was the last frontier Hindu hero. His son, Anandapala, he became Mahmud's feudatory, but then he also declared independence and said, look, I'm going to finish you off forever. That was when he sent out embassies to at least 91 Hindu kings and chieftains and feudatories. 91. And they all responded. Ajmer, Kalinjar, that is Bundelkhand, all the way. Okay, Jaipur, Ajmer, all these places. And they responded enthusiastically. And this is what, a Muslim chronicler, okay, he writes about the kind of battle that Anandapala and his forces gave. I'll read that out. It's actually amazing. So, let me read that out. Just a second. Yeah, so he says, Hindu women sold their jewels and sent the money from distant parts.
Name of the chronicler?
Who was Mahmud's chronicler? Yeah, I forget his name. I don't want to be wrong. I think Minhajus Siraj, I think. Maybe. I mean...
Minhajus Siraj?
Maybe. I mean, this account is there everywhere, but it was first chronicled by Mahmud's chronicler. So this is what he writes. Hindu women sold their jewels and sent the money from distant parts of Hindustan to be used against the Musalmans. The poorer class worked feverishly at the spinning wheel or as hired laborers to be able to send something to the men of the army. Their goal was to expel the Musalmans from Hindustan and forever and safeguard their ancient religion. This is what a Muslim chronicler writes. I'll send you the reference later. Okay? So we lost that Anandapala. So 10th century again. 10th or 11th century, beginning of 11th century. So why did this happen? This happened simply because of two reasons. Now we come to lesson number 2. Okay, because we lost Aryavarta consciousness, we were unable to identify the precise nature of the new enemy. All the previous invaders into India till Muhammad bin Qasim were what you call pagans, beginning from Alexander. Okay, the Huns, I mean, they were barbarians, but neither of their religion was not Christianity or Islam. That much is known. Kushanas, same thing, right? So this kind of fanatical, barbarism sanctified by scripture. That's what Islam is. That was missing. So India was resilient enough, it was powerful enough, the Aryavarta consciousness was strong enough to absorb all these foreign elements and make them Hindu. Okay, you can make that inscription in Madhya Pradesh, the Greek inscription. There's a pillar there built.
Yeah.
It starts from H, I think. I forget the name anyway. So
Heraclius, I think.
Yeah, correct. So that is the one. So we had that capacity. Why? Because we still retained that Aryavarta consciousness, and because we were, largely what you call this kind of. We were not used to this kind of introduced to this kind of barbarism, religion sanctified barbarism. Okay, this is what precisely did us in. And even after Qasim did what he did, okay, he was enabled foolishly by a bunch of Buddhists. Okay, R.C. Majumdar writes, for many years they had carried on treacherous correspondence with Al-Hajjaj, okay, the governor of Iraq. Yeah. So all these, what does it show? You're not careful, you don't even understand the nature of this new enemy. Right? What compels them? Military conquest is one thing. We were used to these military conquests and usurping this Digvijaya Yatras that Hindu kings did. None of them harmed their dharma in the process. They didn't kill cows. They didn't destroy temples. So why should a military victory? What kind of
they didn't even harm the non-combatants.
Precisely. This is what I think Megasthenes, some Greek records write, that villagers, farmers on the countryside, in the villages, a war would be waging, in their eyesight. Okay, soldiers would be fighting in their line of sight. They would be unharmed. Okay, so they would be happily, doing their harvest or planting their crops or doing whatever, and war would be going on right next door. So what kind of warfare is this? None of our kings or statesmen or even lawgivers, dharmashastrakaras, none of them studied this. Even today, this is a curse of the Hindu psyche.